Hello and welcome to an action-packed edition of Auto Today. I'm Gaurav Sawant. We are not showing off about the turning radius of Maruti Suzuki's latest offering, the Ignis. This, of course, is our top focus story, but on the show, we have lots that you just don't want to miss from the world of auto. So before we rev up, before we speed up, let's quickly take a look at what all do we have for you on the show today. Fact or fiction expedition continues to the snake town of Shetpal in Maharashtra. First review of the latest offering from Maruti Suzuki, the Ignis. And a long drive with the V8 Beauty Ford Mustang. This week on Uncharted India Fact or Fiction Drive, let's join our team as they drive through Maharashtra. This is driving towards the second last destination. And it's not just the roads that's rattled them. What else is rattling them? Let's find out.
Looking back on our fact or fiction drive in the Hyundai Elite i20 so far, we have found truth and rats being worshipped at the Karni Mata temple in Deshno. We called fiction on the obvious rumor of ghosts at the deserted town of Kuldhara. Then thankfully finding that Piplantri does indeed plant trees for every girl child born. We also found the village of Jambur to be occupied by people of African descent, like the story said. Unlike the stories that we had read, we found that the town of Shani Shingnapur mostly does have doors and with locks in them. Onwards, thankfully, the roads improved marginally, enough to up our cruising speed. We were still on state highways, and those roads were in fact better than the NH up to Nashik. We have no idea how that can be, considering the road between Nashik and Shani Shingnapur is also the road to Shirdi. Now we have heard stories of a village near Solapur, where the local government had apparently forced the original inhabitants away from the city limits. That's because the villagers were a little too fond of snakes for comfort, even going to the point of making a place for a snake to rest in each house. We looked up Shetpal on the internet, and the search hits came back of cobras in the hands of children. Cobras drawn on walls, cobras sculpted in stone, and more. That's more cobras than we can handle, truth be told. After the last village having turned out to be more a case of fiction than fact, we were really hoping Shetpal would be too. A small sign on the highway directed us into Shetpal village. Pulling up to the local temple and asking for snake charmers earned us blank stares.
आदिवासी लोग तो नहीं है गांव के पास गांव में नहीं इधर जंगल वंगल में आदिवासी जंगल नहीं इधर
ये ऐसे कुछ नहीं है ये आदिवासी का लोग कुछ नहीं ये जंगल कितना दूर है
ये यहाँ पे नहीं है
More asking, more blank stares, more head nodding and handshaking. That's when it turned ugly.
जो नेट पे गिरा है जो सांप आप हमको दिखा रहे हैं वो सांप यहाँ पे नहीं मिलते और जो आदिवासी भी लोग यहाँ पे नहीं है पूरा ड्राई एरिया इस बाजू वाले का भी है और यहाँ शेटपल में भी पूरा ड्राई एरिया है। सर पर जो दिखाई दिए वो स्टैचू दिखाई दिए वो नेट पे जो है वो पूरे के पूरे गलत है कि मैं ये शेटपल गाँव में वैसा कोई आदमी वैसा कोई घर और वैसा कोई स्टैचू नहीं मिलेगा।
The Sarpanch was involved, a few local teachers and a lot of bystanders. Showing them pictures of what we had seen online was met by arguments. None of it had ever happened in the town.
पहले यहाँ पे ऐसे ही नेट पे देख के मीडिया वाले आए थे और वो जो गलत है वो हमने निकालने का कोशिश किया, मगर ये कहाँ से गिरा है, ये गांव का जो इतिहास है, ये गलत इतिहास कहाँ से गिरा है ये मालूम नहीं हो रहा है।
At first, thinking it to be some sort of a cover-up, we put the elite I-20 in gear and went off in search of a snake. Half an hour later, having looked through the whole village, we finally admitted that the internet had got the better of us. As we were leaving, a local child finally gave us something helpful.
इससे कोई नाग है?
नहीं, यहाँ पे कोई नाग नहीं रहता।
और वो नाग लोग?
जी नहीं, वहाँ पे वो नाग लोग भी नहीं रहते, वो अभी गांव में रहते हैं। गाँव यहाँ से 1.5 किलोमीटर आगे।
Sure enough, pulling up to the shop, we see a plastic bottle filled with a snake instead of, sweets. We waste no time in asking the man behind the counter about the snake stories, and he proves them wrong again.
इधर मैं सर्प मित्र है, फोन आने के बाद मैं जाता है और सांप पकड़ के जंगल में छोड़ के आता है। और जो नेट पे जो खबर है ना वो गलत है। हेलो।
This man, the snake friend, is called whenever the locals spot a snake, and he catches them and releases them in the wild away from the village. Well, the snakes of Shetfal village were definitely fabricated then. We are itching to get to the bottom of the Shetfal mystery. And if any of you out there have a lead for us, do write in. As for us, we were glad to be back on the highway, driving away from the lone cobra at Shetfal. Our next episode will also be our last, as we visit the town of Mattur in Karnataka, the last bastion of Sanskrit in the world.
Maruti Suzuki is calling its latest creation, the Ignis, the car for the millennials. Now it has a retro look, some bits of the old Suzuki servo, but it also has premium trimmings. It's being sold through its Nexa brand. Yogin and Abhik, they traveled to Chennai, they saw the car. The first look, touch, feel. What's the Ignis like? Let's find out.
The Maruti Suzuki Ignis was first showcased in 2015 at the Tokyo Motor Show as the IM4 concept. Since then, it has made it to various motor shows around the world. With all that hype built around the car, we were excited to finally drive it.
I'm here in Chennai, and with me is the Maruti Suzuki Ignis and my colleague Abhik Das. We will be driving the Ignis, of which we have a petrol manual and a diesel automatic.
The Ignis hasn't deviated from the way it looked as a concept, and that's much appreciated. After all, it is the design that gets your attention first. The Ignis is a very Japanese design. It's quirky, funky, and stands out of the crop of small hatchbacks on Indian roads. The front end incorporates LED DRLs, and we have seen those before, but LED headlamps too? Now that's a first for Maruti, and a first for this segment of cars. The headlamps form a part of the wide and continuous front grille, giving it a contemporary look, while the rear infuses retro cool to this design. 15-inch alloy wheels in black look cool, but wider tires would have looked sportier given the minimal overhangs. The car sits high with 180 mm of ground clearance. Overall, the Ignis comes together as a sporty and fresh-looking car. The interior is as funky as the outside.
The interiors of the car, as you can see, are quite funky, they are quirky, they are not like anything else that we've seen in a Maruti before. The infotainment system, it's the same unit, but it's positioned like a floating tab in front of the dashboard. And even the AC controls panel, this reminds me of a Mini. You know, the quirky feel and the buttons which are also quite different, not like before. There is good storage space here, plus a 12-volt charging point or a cigarette lighter point, and USB aux-in for the infotainment system. The steering has all the controls that one might need, also for telephony, Bluetooth you can connect the phone with, and the instrument panel has a whole lot of information apart from the analog displays for the speed and the RPM. So all in all, it's a loaded car, loaded with features, and the interiors are quite quirky. I like the way that their door handles are of the exterior color. They are metallic, again, you know, touches of Mini. So there are lots of things that have been, I think, picked up from a Mini Fiat 500 kind of a car. The mean seat height is just as much as the Maruti Brezza. So yeah, the Vitara, the SUV, so that means you're sitting quite high up, and it's a nice commanding view of the road ahead.
But things are not the same across variants. With maximum features limited only to the top spec Alpha trim, the mid variants lose out on some of the traits that set this cabin apart.
Major changes from that car would be this floating tablet-like infotainment system, which on this car is a conventional looking unit with all the buttons and knobs. Doesn't really look as special as the other car. And the AC controls are again conventional rotary controls instead of the aircraft style buttons that you've seen, toggle switches in fact, that you've seen on the other car. But apart from this, if you can overlook these two factors, everything else is the same.
The changes to the exterior are limited to regular, reflector type headlamps that replace the more premium LED units, but still don't take away from the design much. The Ignis has ample space to offer within its compact dimensions. It even packs a bigger boot than the Swift. Driving the Ignis will leave you more than impressed. Maruti Suzuki has gone the tried and tested way with a choice of 1.2-litre petrol and 1.3-litre diesel motors on offer. What's more is that auto gear shift options are available on both engines. The petrol engine is refined with no vibrations to speak of, and the manual gearbox shifts positively with solid clicks from gear to gear. The diesel engine, well known for its frugality, definitely feels more responsive at lower RPMs. Maruti claims to have tweaked the AMT transmission to shift quicker, and it showed through as upshifts were more timely and accurate than the AMT-equipped Desire diesel. The Ignis is based on a new platform that makes it safer with more structural rigidity. Dual airbags, ISOFIX child car seats, and ABS feature among the list of safety equipments. The Ignis offers great all-round visibility, and it is easy to get used to the proportions of the car, so it is easy to maneuver around Delhi traffic. The suspension is set up for urban conditions, so they do a good job of absorbing road undulations. We were mostly on fast and straight stretches of highway during the drive, and Ignis felt confident and quick here. The Ignis is aimed at a specific audience rather than mass appeal, and it does a good job of standing apart with unique features and styling that's fresh, young and lively.
See, as far as the driving of the car goes, these are really refined cars, something really special that Maruti has built. But what I'd like to say about the Ignis is that it's a very quirky car. The car should appeal to somebody who wants something different, is looking for some quirkiness. Even the interiors take on that. And overall, the cars are really nice to drive. It's much smoother, and we felt that it is much smoother than before.
That, yes.
And overall, I think this is a premium car. They are going to sell it through the Nexa showrooms. So the positioning is very clear, and the price range suggests that.
The sight of a Ford Mustang can make any speed freak go weak in the knees. It leaves you gasping for more. Our resident Dubai boy Karan Mathur, he not only saw one, he got to drive one, and on a 500-kilometer long spiritual journey. Take a look.
Meet Mustang, the Ford Mustang, a completely new breed of car.
The Ford Mustang was first launched way back in 1964. At the time, the company aimed to win over hearts of the coming-of-age American teenagers who reveled in the joy of freedom. Had the Beatles playing through their speakers, and the baby boomers started looking out for fun toys to play with.
Mustang.
It was arguably the beginning of the muscle car generation that shaped the future. Ford even sold 1 lakh cars in just 4 months in 1964. Fast forward 50 years and the Mustang is the most famous V8 in Ford's arsenal. Heck, it's arguably one of the most popular V8s in the world. Well, Ford finally called and we were immediately on way to Kolkata to take a 500-kilometer trip towards Bodh Gaya. The route might not have been the most exciting, but we were definitely looking forward to stretch the Mustang's legs on the highway. As soon as the Mustang and we headed out of Kolkata, one thing was quite apparent. With its long hood and wide proportions, the Mustang is not the easiest car to jump into Indian traffic.
I love and have driven quite a few Fords. But I, Karan Mathur, being a Dubai boy at heart, have driven quite a few V8s as well. But I have never gotten my hands on the most famous Ford V8 to ever grace the Ford showroom, the Ford Mustang. And while my colleague Simran Rastogi got only a handful of tracks around the BIC, I have it for 500 kilometers from Kolkata all the way to Bodh Gaya, and with those 400 horsepower, I'll see if I can get there in the shortest time possible.
But with its large glass area, the car does certainly help you along when getting used to the sheer size driving through a metropolis like Kolkata. After about an hour of driving, the crew pulled up to a quaint little dhaba to take a break. Roughly 150 kilometers into the drive, the car kept us in utter comfort, but our stomachs still needed to be filled, having left early to make time for shots.
Well, now that I've talked about the road trip, let's talk about the Ford Mustang, shall we? 5-litre American muscle V8, 400 horsepower and 550 Newton meters of torque. Now, I know you can search these specifications on the internet, but what you can't search is the thrill it provides. It is absolutely addictive. There is bucket loads of torque right from the low down, and anytime you feel sleepy or you have to release a bit of frustration, all you gotta do is step on that go faster pedal. Now, along with the power, it has brilliant GT credentials as well. It is comfortable, it is fast, and right now it's 10 degrees Celsius outside, my heated seats are on, and I am as comfortable as can be.
With a majority of roads in various states of disrepair, it was not a surprise to anyone that we only managed to reach the city of Bodh Gaya by nightfall. What we now needed to do was get up early in the morning and head towards the famous 80 feet Buddha statue. We figured we'd go straight in, get our shots and walk out as kings. However, Bodh Gaya had other plans up its sleeves. What made the commute more interesting were the thousands of people who thronged to Bodh Gaya for the ongoing Kala Chakra festival, arguably one of the biggest Buddhist culture festivals in the world. Buddhists and other devotees from all walks and different parts of the world had shown up. The Dalai Lama would be making an appearance, and there were even rumors of Richard Gere, of the Dalai Lama's highest profile followers in town for the festival.
The car has kept us happy throughout, from Kolkata all the way to Bodh Gaya. The roads were slightly dingy, but the car just keeps a smile on your face constantly. Overall, it was a magnificent trip. We've loved every minute of it, and we'd love to take this Mustang further on, push it further, and enjoy a few more miles while we can.
The launch of Mahindra KUV 100's anniversary edition and lots more from the world of auto. So as we head out to these open roads, let's take a look at all the other news from the world of automobiles.
Maruti Suzuki India has quietly discontinued sales of lower variants of its premier crossover S-Cross featuring 1.6-litre diesel engine due to low demand. The company is now selling only the top-end Alpha variant of the vehicle featuring 1.6-litre diesel engine priced at Rs 12.03 lakh, ex-showroom Delhi, from its premium retail channel Nexa. Maruti Suzuki India, however, continues to sell all the three variants of the crossover powered by a smaller 1.3-litre diesel engine. These are priced between Rs 8.78 lakh and Rs 10.63 lakh, ex-showroom Delhi. Formula One star Jenson Button enjoyed racing through the skies this week after piloting a British Airways A380 flight simulator at London's Heathrow Airport. The former world champion, who recently announced his retirement from the track, spent 90 minutes perfecting takeoff, cruise and landing of the world's largest commercial aircraft. The 37-year-old made 3 landings into Hong Kong International Airport in total and was thrilled to take control of the iconic double-decker 4-engine aircraft, which forms the centerpiece of British Airways fleet along with the Boeing 787 Dreamliners.
Well, that is all we have time for in this week's edition of Auto Today. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.